Okay, I would like to talk about algorithms today and how much they frustrate me.
Cool. Do you want me to call in some sort of tech support?
Maybe, but also I think I need emotional and psychological support as well.
Awesome. Welcome to Talk 50 to Me. Talk 50 to me. Let's do it again.
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, how are you, Constance?
You know, I'm all right, except this algorithm stuff is really fucking with my brain because, you know, since we started developing midlife monologues as a play, I've had to do all this research into midlife and women in their 50s and getting quotes and learning about people who are spreading the good word about how 50 is fucking complicated, right? So what's happened is now my algorithm on Instagram is all that, which I love, but now I don't see any of my friends' posts unless my
50.
posts, right, like you, I still get you because you are
talking about the same thing.
You're preaching the gospel, right? But I don't get anybody else's posts. So here's my frustration. I appreciate it, but I also find it very frustrating because I follow the people I follow because they are different than me. They are not the same. They have different likes, different needs, different wants. Now I'm only being fed what I'm kind of like researching. So I've lost like this dimension of character where everything is that.
You're on like a social media superhighway of 50 plus, of midlife.
Yeah, and like a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And now I'm missing all of the other content, like just from my friends, the people I want to follow.
Right. I think you have to go rogue here and there once you sort of get into your Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that you're surfing every once in a while, and then it'll sort of adjust your it will adjust based on likes and comments. Listen, I don't want to give anybody an Instagram lesson because really the most important thing here today is that you said you can still see mine.
All right. So on that note,
should we get to our first guest?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So you may not know this about today's guest, but she completely lost her voice for 2 years, which would freak me out. But it forced her to figure out who the hell she was without it. You do know her as one of America's sweethearts, starring in Father of the Bride, but it's in her 50s that she's crushing it. Most recently as the host of Farmer Wants a Wife and joining the cast of Ryan Murphy's Nashville 911, Kimberly is living proof that when you think you're experiencing something that could weaken you, it might actually make you stronger. Wait till you hear how much she's deadlifting. Hi, Kimberly Williams-Paisley. Welcome to Talk 50 to us.
Hi.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you guys.
We're so happy to have you here.
It's so good to see your faces.
We like to start off by asking people not what age they are, but what level they're at.
Okay, so I'm 53, but I feel like I'm at a higher level than my age is my point.
Nice.
That is perfect.
We like that a lot. That's really cool.
Okay.
That means you're enjoying your 50s. So can you give us one word to describe your 50s so far?
Gosh, grounding.
Ooh.
I would say grounding. I feel more grounded now than I have probably ever in my life. I think I'm taking better care of myself than I ever have. I went through a period, as you mentioned, where I lost my voice and I felt very fragile. And I still sort of like teeter on the edge of feeling fragile in that, like, I deadlift currently 105 pounds. But if I tweak any wrong way, I'm off of it for weeks because I've hurt myself. I feel like it's easy to injure myself. I just feel as I get older that my body is so precious and I just want to take good care of it. So, I don't feel fragile, but I feel like I need to, like, I'm paying attention to myself in ways that I never have before. And that's a good thing.
Is that a bit of PTSD, you think, from that? Because I know as I get older, I hold on to things more than I did when I was younger.
Well, I've done a lot of work to get over the PTSD. So I don't feel like I have PTSD. I feel like I gathered up all these lessons from going through that really tough time and I'm using them and applying them. Like, for example, I always had a goal to start meditating. And it wasn't until I lost my voice for a year and a half, 2 years, that I actually started doing it. And I've kept up the process. And it's like one of the best things I've ever done for myself.
We talked about that how important everybody says meditating is, especially coming into this time in your life in order to quiet the noise and focus in on what really matters. But can we just talk about how you lost your voice? Was it because you were screaming so loud at your 50th birthday party? Like, is that what it was? Because that, I feel like, is what it should be.
That's, I wish, what it was. I know, actually, ironically, doing a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. I was like the belle of the ball. This was my event. It was our 5th annual fundraiser in Nashville. The theme was 90s country, and I understood the assignment. I looked fabulous. I was like going Cindy Crawford style. And I waltzed out there and the crowd was going wild. And it's like an actor's nightmare. It's any performer's nightmare where they're all like, yeah, here she goes, here she goes. Okay, let's do this. And I'm kicking off the night. And I put the microphone to my mouth and just nothing happened. Nothing came out. My voice just completely seized up.
Whoa.
And what was happening, and I didn't find it out for a long time. It took a long time to figure out what was wrong with me. But what had happened is I had a vocal cord that was paralyzed. And
Just out of the blue?
and my body was
Just completely randomly?
They think that it was after a series of viruses. I did have COVID like 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before this happened. I also had, when everyone else had COVID, I had some other really intense, weird virus that they didn't know what it was. And, over a couple of years, they think that it was just starting to atrophy this nerve. And yeah, but my body was compensating so much for the paralysis that I had so much muscle tension in my throat that when they put a scope down, they couldn't see my vocal cords because they couldn't even get to them. So that's what sent me on a process of like, okay, what do I do? I tried everything you can imagine, like biofeedback and hypnosis, and I did therapy and I started lifting weights and like all these other things that wound up being great for me, trying to fix this one issue. And then ultimately, all of those things worked together to release the tension, and they were able to see my vocal cords. And that's when I underwent 2 different procedures. One where they plumped up my vocal cord so that it could finally hit the other one. And then after that filler wore off, then I had to do like a full-on operation. I was wide awake for 3 hours watching them on this screen above my head.
Again.
And, to me, it was like, it was like so real that I had to be awake for it. It was just like the perfect poetic end to this. Is like, you have to be awake to go through this. You cannot sleep through this ordeal. And then it was like, it came back right away. And then it's just been a process of like trying to figure out how to use it again with this like new material in my throat,
How old were you when this happened?
Probably like 51.
Okay, so the cool thing is you got your voice back right at the start of your 50s when we all need you the most.
Yeah, well, I got it. I'm sorry, I lost it when I was 51. I got it back like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not doing the math, but
That's okay.
Yeah, it was like new into my 50s, and then now at almost 54, I have my voice back. I'm working. Like honestly, I'm so happy with where things are right now. I've got an amazing job that's like shooting 10 minutes from my house. It's so fun to be back acting again. Because like for a time I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not an actor anymore. I just thought I'm going to have to make peace with not having a voice. But that's when I started writing and like finding my voice in other ways.
That's amazing.
And so I still have all that Yeah.
Right. Well, so I want to talk about that because when you announced your surgery, when you talked about it on social media, I want to read a section of what you wrote because I find it incredibly inspiring. When you said, I've found power in using my voice in new ways. I'm dissolving shame. I'm feeling more whole, empowered, and joyful. Now, can we talk a little bit about that and more specifically, why shame? Like, how is because that is something that I think a lot of women in their 50s really need help working on is shame.
All
women
in
general.
Ages, we carry a lot of shame.
Right.
We apologize for everything.
I know. And losing my voice was very disempowering because when you have it, I mean, I took it for granted. And then all of a sudden, a woman in my 50s, already I felt kind of invisible. You know, once you start going through perimenopause and menopause and your body's changing and like you're not the sexy, hot, whatever that you used to be, as you talk about all the time, we're transitioning into this midlife thing. So I already was feeling kind of invisible in new ways. But then suddenly, like, no one can hear me. And my love language, humor, like that's less powerful because people can't hear my little one-liners and my jokes. Or like, I have an opinion about something, but if other people are talking, no one's going to hear me. And I can't even tell you how frustrating and sad that was to just feel like here I am and no one can see me or hear me because no one's looking at me.
Yeah.
So I really had to start fighting to be heard. And what does that look like? I have to be bigger. I have to let people know that I'm about to talk. You know, I have to repeat myself because they missed it the first time. I have to really like dissolve the shame of it because it was embarrassing. I was so embarrassed. I felt like before we knew what the reason was, which they'll never actually know definitively what the reason was, but I was like, is it because I haven't worked out my trauma from my childhood? Is it because I'm not being truthful enough? So like I was digging through all this stuff. What is it? What's the bigger reason? What's the bigger purpose? What am I supposed to learn? Like, I think women do that too.
Yeah. Well, I wish they did it more.
Okay, what are we doing wrong? Yeah.
No,
what are we doing wrong? Like,
I think it's a little bit of a gift that this happened to you because it sounds like it helped you actually redefine who you are. And I know it is very hard to start digging in your 50s. I did it too. And so I think maybe it helped you redefine yourself a little bit.
For sure. And I did heal stuff from my childhood. I healed, the interesting thing is my mom died from Alzheimer's disease. And there was this whole level of healing that occurred between me and my mom who died, 7 or 8 years ago. But I had to heal that relationship post-death, post her death. And that was really powerful work that I did because the irony was I was on stage at an event that I was throwing because of my mother who never wanted me to talk about her Alzheimer's. So I always felt like I was being silenced when she was alive. Like the first thing she said when she found out about it was, "Do not tell the soul." So anytime I talked about it, I felt guilty. So I was doing something wrong, and
that
so
was her shame.
The irony was not lost on me that I was on stage talking about it when she was like,
Yeah.
You are not going to talk about this.
I have a better relationship with my mother in death than I did when she was alive. And it was that same, like she was so ashamed that I told people I was an alcoholic. She was
Wow.
And I didn't blame her. It's just the shame from that generation. It is the number one word all women need to drop and give back to whoever gave it to us because it's not our shame.
I just love that you say that you have a better relationship with her now because I completely relate to that. There's a freedom now that I can do what I want. But I also, like, in healing all of that, I feel like for the first time in my life, she's totally my cheerleader and on my side and there and living vicariously through me, but like empowering me in great ways because of all this work that I've done around that relationship.
I've cried in every episode, so it's probably time for me to cry now. But I actually built an altar to my mom that has a little photo, and here I go. And some candy that she loved, and I talk to it all the time.
Yeah. I talk to her too, and I feel like we're friends.
I'm curious because your sister, Ashley Williams, who a lot of us know,
Mhm.
is, have you found yourself having gone through, like, because you kind of were basically didn't have a choice but to step into this power by having it kind of taken away. How have you been able to share that with Ashley? Because you're now in this mentoring place of like leading her into this time. And how have you been doing that? And how has that been working? Because I feel like it just must be so incredible for you to be able to give her these gifts of awareness and acknowledging getting older and how great it can be. And I would love for you to just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big part of it. Well, I will say Ashley's been such a huge support to me through this whole thing. She's been incredible. But yes, there are definitely lessons that I've learned that I'm passing on to her. And I wish I had had an older sister to tell me all these things about the hormones, the changes, and then the healing and the shame and all that stuff. We were talking the other day. I think I'm an empath. That's what I've learned about myself, especially in the last couple of years, and so many women are. And what I've learned is what I don't have to take on, even if it's a superpower that I can be empathetic. I don't have to be for everybody. Like I tended before to want to, like, if I can channel like how you're feeling and feel the way you're feeling and help heal that, I would do it. And now I've realized like I don't always need to. And so Ashley was having that experience recently. And I just told her these lessons that I had learned, that she doesn't have to do that. This is what's happening. This is what I see you doing. And you don't have to take it all on. It's okay. And I think that was helpful to her. So we are in constant contact. And but she helps me just as much as I help her.
Yeah. I think we talk about that too, like how Gen Z is basically helping Gen X be able to be vulnerable and share and give advice because they're listening. We weren't really
Yeah.
listening to those.
No.
I
don't care what that old lady says.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
our generation.
it's like we're the older
Yeah.
ladies now, and I think it's really
Yeah.
cool that it's like we're raising Gen Z and we're going to make them, the next generation too, that everybody wants to look up to and say like, oh my God, they chose to not get married or not have kids or do things their way or be the breadwinner. And, it's just like, I love it. It makes me,
cool.
it's super cool. So what we're going to do is, believe it or not, we're already at the end because that's how much fun this is. But
we do have two questions.
We have two things. So what we always like to end with is one, a surprise question. And do you want to do the question
Well, no,
first?
actually, first we want to ask her best advice for people, for the next generation.
You want to do that first?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
What is your advice for the next generation? What's your advice for
meaning
any
like
generation
Gen Z?
about being, your advice about being in your 50s for any generation?
Learn how to be your own best friend.
Ooh, good one. Yeah.
That's
Constance said that the 50s are the time to fall in love with yourself.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Now I'm working now and I'm doing something I've never done. I've been working for 30 years. And every night, I'm like my own mother now. Every night before I go to work, I pack my lunch. I'm cooking my own food. I'm packing up my lunchbox. I'm putting in snacks. I'm putting in like my electrolyte water. I've got my vitamin pack. And I've never done that for myself.
That's amazing.
I'm always just like running out the door. And now I'm really taking care of myself and it feels so good.
That's awesome. I think self-care is self-aware.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm reaching into the magic. Maybe a dirty question.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
I like to blame Constance for this
Why?
part.
You wrote them all.
No, I would never do that.
I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Okay, today's question is, are you who you want to be? Are you who you want to be?
Oh, that's such a good question, guys. You know what? I'm going to say
Now
yes.
she takes
I'm
credit for
good.
it.
Good. I'm going to say yes for today because what I'm really working on is acceptance and self-acceptance. So I'm going to be okay with whoever I am today. So yes.
Oh,
You know,
that's
some days
amazing.
I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to feel like imposter syndrome come back or insecurity come back. And I'm trying not to beat myself up when they do. If I feel like my voice is weak one day or strong the next, or I wish I'd said something and I didn't or whatever, I'm just trying to like give myself grace.
That's
So,
beautiful. Well,
yes, I'm happy with where I am.
we'd like to give you grace for being
love
with us
it.
today. Thank you so much for talking 50 with us. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to watching you on TV.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Oh,
Thanks
we
for
love
doing
you
this important
too.
work.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank
So are you.
so much.
First of all, she doesn't age.
I know.
I mean, I know we're not supposed to talk about how people look, but she's glowing from the inside out.
Yes, and I think that is what you and I constantly talk about. Like, why is it all about beauty from visual? Why is it not beauty from what you are bringing to everything you're a part of from the inside out? We're
think it
so
is.
judged by the outside when it is the inside that makes our outside glow.
I agree. And
Right?
she's totally glowing. It was really interesting to hear her talk about, you know, getting in your 50s and being an actress and feeling invisible and feeling shameful. And it really is such a universal thing with women and our shame. I mean, it is baked into us to apologize for fucking everything.
I know. Not literally fucking everything.
Well,
but
I
like,
did fuck everything in my and that's okay. You know what? I don't know what my body count is, and that's okay.
You know, I think, again, that brings me into like a time when I was so insecure that I thought that that was the only way that guys would like me was if I
Yeah.
had sex with them. So it's interesting to get into this time in your life and you're like, nah,
I don't want to have sex.
you either get it or you don't. So you just like me for who I am, not what I can physically give you, right? Because
What's my favorite expression about penis?
your penis is not the hug that I need.
Right. I just need a hug.
Right.
Yeah. That's kind of all the time we have for today. And I hope you enjoyed Talking 50 with us. And we will.
See you next week.
Well, yeah.
Or you can listen to us. But you can also find us on Instagram at Talk50to Me. You can email us at talk50tomepod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Send us questions that you want us to answer on the air.
Right. Or send us your one word to describe your 50s. We might share it.
Yeah.
You never know. And also, where else can you see
on
us?
YouTube. You can watch us on our YouTube channel.
And what else? Do we have anything else?
Our producer, Alex. by
Our
the way,
producer,
who is
Alex,
amazing.
said, we have to tell you, like and subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
And she tells us to say that first every time, and we forget.
We always
every
forget.
time. So
You wanna
shout
know
out
why?
to Alex.
Here's why. Because I don't want to have to tell people to like and subscribe.
I do.
You should be doing it
Like
because
me?
you want to, not because we're fucking yelling at you to do
Like
it.
me, love me, subscribe to me. I don't care about Constance.
Wow.
Just
I'm
me.
right here. I'm sitting right here.
Okay, that's it.
Wrap it
Thank
up.
you.
We
Have
got to
a-
wrap it up. Where's the cane? Pull us away.
That's all for us. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
goodbye. See you next Tuesday. Bye now. Talk 50 to Me with Heidi Clements and Constance Zimmer is produced by Alex Beatty, recording engineer Aaliyah Walker, editing by Zaleen Hassi, music by Matt Friedman, production services provided by A4S Podcast Studios, a Talk 50 to Me LLC production distributed by the Forward Network.